for a little over 20 years now. And part of my journey, I was in the process of really just thinking that MS was a part of who I was, really just thinking it was something that I had to fight my body and I had to push back and I had to be the strong one. And at the same time, I just really wanted to live the life that I'd always wanted to live. And so, what I want to talk to you about today is what I wish I would have known sooner about living with MS and stress. Because stress is something that we can look at it and think, like, yeah, I'm stressed, but I'm handling it pretty well. And that was very much me in the past. I was in a place where I was working towards becoming a retail manager at one of the top companies in the chain. It was a very male dominated industry that I was in. And so I was pushing myself and pushing myself and pushing myself. I was driving a really long distance to work back and forth each day, like just had a lot on my plate, a lot going on. And so when I was diagnosed at 22 years old, I thought, okay, I'm young. I'm strong. I can just push through this. But what we often don't notice, especially at the time, is that if stress is up here, your immune system is going to match that. So the nervous system is not feeling safe. It's feeling like it has to keep up with everything that's going on. And so as a result, when the body doesn't feel safe, the body is not in a place of healing. When the body doesn't feel safe, that affects digestion. That affects your body's ability to produce hormones. That affects lots of like neurotransmitters and other stuff going on in your system. Because if the body doesn't feel safe, it feels stressed out, it's not wanting to focus on those other things. Its main goal is to keep you alive. And so what I didn't realize at the time, I mean, you think about it, the body is just trying to keep you safe and from the perspective of making sure that you wake up the next day. And so I was the person who thought, okay, I'm not going to let this get me. I'm not going to let MS ruin my life. So I'm just going to push through and I'm going to fight my body. And what I wish I would have recognized earlier was that my body was giving me symptoms and giving me the health problems that it was because it was trying to tell me something. It was trying to give me a message and an understanding of what was going on. It was asking for something, saying, what you're doing is not working. And realizing that now, that's a big part of what has allowed me to get to the last 9 years that I've been able to live symptom free. Because the medical route is looking at things from the perspective of let's just suppress your symptoms. And yes, I get it. Symptoms suck, but symptoms are trying to tell you something. And so when we can start listening to the body and start paying attention to what the message is trying to tell you, that's when change can really happen. And so I'm sharing this with you because I do have a stress workshop coming up this Wednesday. I hold this stress workshop at least once a month, and the feedback has been really good from it because people often don't understand that we can stay in this very narrow field of view, this very narrow focus in our minds. And when we're here, we're automatically in fight or flight. And I lived the first half of my MS journey in this very narrow focus, just focused on medicine is the only solution, the only path I can take. And when I started to open my awareness, that's when other possibilities and other options became available, became present to me. This is very closely related to one of the tools that many of my clients find very useful, and that's the perspective of getting yourself to a place of being grounded, feeling grounded, connecting with your body, and really opening your awareness to the things around you. Because staying in that narrow focus was keeping me in fight or flight. And a body that's in fight or flight is not a body that's prioritizing health, healing, well being. And so in this workshop, I am going to share a strategy with you, which is talking about coming out of that narrow focus. And this is something that can be very beneficial to help you get more into awareness of your body. And so if you're someone who has been dealing with health problems, you're frustrated, you're feeling like medicine is not really paying attention, no one's really listening to you, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling gaslit. I can understand, I don't understand you in terms of what you're going through, but I understand from my own experience as well how frustrating it can be to feel like no one's listening to me, no one understands me, no one gets what I'm going through. And so no one is actually helping me. And so what I like to show my clients is that, A, like you have so much more personal power than you've ever been led to believe. When it comes to your health, when it comes to your well-being, there's so much more you can do for yourself. And so on Wednesday, we're going to talk about how stress impacts the body, where stress shows up for people, and then a strategy that you can start using to start helping your body get to a place of calm so it can start doing the things that it was designed to do. I honestly can't look back on my 20 years since I was diagnosed, and I did go through a rough period. I've been symptom free for 9 years, but there was at least 7 or 8 years that I was on the medication that I just watched my quality of life continue to decrease and decrease and decrease. And it was scary. It was overwhelming. It was frustrating because I felt like I'm just getting sicker and sicker, and medicine is not helping me. And the societies that are designed to, like, nothing is helping me. And it was that focus that I had outside of me looking for this knight in shining armor to come and rescue me. When I started to recognize and take a step back and realize if change is going to happen, it needs to come from me. It needs to start on the inside. And I need to start figuring out what my body is trying to tell me and what I can do to start helping move to a place of better health. So, symptom free for 9 years, I've helped more than 100 people with MS get to the place where symptoms have improved. They're living a better quality of life. They're finding ways to communicate with their body, to decode the messages the body is sending, and get to a place where they feel like they have more power, more control in their environment, in their world again, and getting their quality of life back. So join me on Wednesday if this is something that interests you, because there are simple things that we can do that make a big difference in terms of our health, in terms of our well being. And I'm going to share my favorite one of those with you and clients love this Wednesday. So if that's something that you're interested in, this is like designed like a lunch and learn style thing. It's about 30 to 45 minutes, not a super long investment of your time, but I think it's pretty worthwhile because you walk away with a tool that you can use to help yourself when it comes to resetting your system, when it comes to getting to a place of feeling grounded, tuning in with your body, and really starting to pay attention and decode the messages your body is sending. So, if this is something that interests you, the workshop is called Stress is Not the Problem, It's the Pattern. Because we all run patterns in the background, and it's the patterns that keep us stuck. It's the loops that just happen over and over and over again that you aren't consciously aware of, but that your unconscious mind is doing for you. And it's a good thing, really, because our unconscious mind does 90 to 95% of what we do in a daily basis is run by our unconscious mind. Can you imagine having to tell your heart to beat every time you wanted it to beat? Can you imagine telling your lungs to breathe every time you needed air? It would be a lot of mental energy to have to do all of the things the unconscious mind does for us. But when we can get the unconscious mind to start helping us towards other things that it hasn't been doing, and realizing how it's actually potentially, although it's trying to keep us safe, it's trying to make sure that we wake up tomorrow. That may not mean you're waking up in the quality of life and the health that you want. And so, how can we fine tune and adjust that programming to help you get towards the place that you want easier with less fight? And that's where I help clients with hypnosis. I use it's called neuro-linguistic programming. But ultimately, if you think about trying to do all the things you do on a daily basis with a flip phone, trying to get your flip phone to do all of the stuff that these amazing smart devices do, what about a rotary dial phone? The programming is not updated. It's not capable of doing the things that these new devices would be able to do. It's the same with the mind. If the mind is not updated to a place where it's focusing on getting you towards the goals that you want to get to, it can actually get in your way. It can hold you back, even though it's trying to keep you safe and it is making sure you wake up tomorrow. We can get it to a point where it's actually helping you in a like beneficial way to get towards better health. I have one saying that I share on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram all the time that I have like dozens and dozens of clients saying all of the time, people saying all of the time, every day I'm getting healthier and healthier. And so there are some simple shifts that we can make in terms of our daily activities, in terms of the things that we focus on that actually show up in different ways in our lives. A big part, yes, nutrition was a part of my journey. There was other lifestyle factors as well, but shifting the programming, shifting the mindset, shifting the beliefs that had kept me staying stuck for more than 7 years was also a really big part of this. So if you're looking for some support or you're looking for to move forward into a different direction with your health and wellness, or just would like to have more energy because less stress, managing stress better is going to lead to feeling better overall. If this interests you, I'll drop the link in the comments, and make sure you register for this free workshop on Wednesday. Stress isn't the problem, it's the pattern. And when you can learn to start aligning the patterns in a way that actually work towards the goal that you want, pretty cool things happen. So I'm Kate from Aligned Natural Health, and I hope to see you on